I am honored to be here, and I just wanted to first and foremost thank Laura and the SFDFF board and staff for their warm embrace of my film and supporting me and getting me here from DC. Yes, thank you. And I'm just tripping that my film is here with all these wonderful films. I never thought I was making a dance film, but I guess I was. But I am Shellée Haynesworth, and shout out to my co-director, Michelle Parkinson, and I am the co-director producer of Camille A. Brown Giant Steps. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm the executive producer and creator of Barye. It was the one with the Iranian song. I need to obviously thank this festival for including us, and my director, Daniela, my DP, Tyler, and my choreographer, Ella, wasn't able to make it today because we're all students at USC, so they're all in LA. I was able to fly out, fortunately, and I'm originally from Shanghai, and my friend from Shanghai is here as well, actually. And it was a really beautiful process making this film, so it's crazy. This is the first film I've ever made as well. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Deborah LaVine, and I'm the Dean of the School of Filmmaking at UNCSA. And the beautiful Endalyn Taylor is the Dean of Dance at UNCSA. And we made the film with one of our alums, Adam Whitmer. And Camille Brown, I believe, is an alum of UNCSA. So it's lovely to be on the program. Thank you for putting this up on the screen.
Hi everyone, my name is Brigitte Leilani Axelrode, but my friends and family call me Gigi. My film was Memory's Missionary Position. It is a film that kind of started as a school project but has evolved. I would love to thank my amazing DP and editor, Vincent Bercasio, and my younger sibling, Anne. She was in the audience tonight. Yay! They have inspired me to move more into film. I definitely have a background as a live performer, so it's been really cool to move into that space. And also Noe Ravilla, who is the author of the poem, and that's also her voice speaking the poem. So I want to bring her to the space today. Thank you.
It's a privilege to be here. My name is Hannah Sullivan, and I had the privilege of sharing Breast Not Included. It's really hard in the collective I work in to delineate who did what role, but Seth Thompson directed the cinematography. My dear colleague Amy Wilson supported me with movement coaching, and my husband, Jeremy Verwise, scored the film.
Good evening. My name is Antwan Banks-Williams. I am the director and producer of Processing. I want to send a shout out to my good friend Shani, who is actually one of the women who I interviewed for this, Skylar, who is the dancer, and my family, Reese, Tirsa, Raina, and little Kamari. Shouts out to y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Great. So I'm going to try to get through this next part without tearing up. I am very emotional. Your films just moved me so deeply. In the little screen on my computer, right? But seeing it on big screen, right? So I'm curating this program. What resonated was the centering of the Femme perspective, as well as the themes of fortitude and resilience. That's what was resonating with me. And important messaging in this collective of films and for this time in our society, what you are saying and putting into your art. Can you share a memorable moment for you in creating this particular project? What stands out for you, or what stands out to you about this artistic journey? What stands out to you about this artistic journey? And we can popcorn, whoever wants to take it first. And can I just do a time check? And I think we can have a good little 5 to 2, I think we have about 10 minutes, yeah. So we have 10 minutes total, and I have a rapid fire kind of answer thing to do later. So let's take the 10 minutes to just talk. And we may not have time for Q&A, but get this, we're gonna hang out here. So you can always come and ask the questions that maybe you're burning, something really moved you, you thought about something, you're watching these films. We'll make sure that we hang out so you can come and chat with us, okay? All right, so a memorable moment for you creating your project. What stands out to you about this autistic journey?
Sure. This is what happens when you're next to Laura. Okay. Okay. All right, awesome. And I would be remiss without shouting out Camille A. Brown. And that's what really stood about me. And I think that, as you said, the connectivity of our films, but also with Camille, is how she's also raising voices. What I discovered on this journey was all of the choreographers and dancers who have come through Camille's pipeline. And so not only is she elevating our culture, on these different stages, from Broadway to small screens, big screens, classrooms, but she's also just elevating the next generation. And I just saw that as just so selfless, because so many folks, especially in this moment in time, oftentimes we're dealing with the rugged individualism and competitiveness, especially when you're looking at this world, this landscape of dancing and everything. And so that's what really struck out during this process for me about Camille, was just the way that she's so open and willing to, teach the next generation. So, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, a memorable moment, I think, would have to be the interview process that I had with Shellée, with another good friend of mine, Precious, and Lisa, who aren't in attendance, but really understanding how the carceral system affects women opposed to how it affects men, like really, really set with me. And it really altered how I want to show up in the world. And I think that changed the trajectory of the film, right? Like, I initially wanted to make this film about just the process of re-entering society, and then it became about highlighting so much that society doesn't talk about, because when we think about incarceration, we oftentimes think about from the perspective of men, when there is a large population of women who are vastly affected by the carceral system, the healthcare system, and the education system. So sitting with these interviews, like talking to my loved ones and having them be so open and vulnerable and just trusting me, like, it really, really changed how I wanted to package this film and what I wanted to do with it in totality.
A little backstory about how my film came to be. I am actually not a filmmaker. I was a dancer in high school, and my dance team danced to this Iranian song that we had no idea what it meant. And then a year later, I posted a little clip on Instagram, not knowing what it meant, not knowing what it represented, and it went viral in Iran. It somehow found the women of Iran, and they were commenting and DMing me, being like, wow, thank you for dancing for us. Thank you for seeing us. This brought me to tears. Thank you. And I was really confused initially, because I didn't know such a small thing could make such a big impact. But what I did know is emotional resonance. And I knew how I felt when I see someone like me on the screen. I knew how I felt when I watched someone dance, and you can feel that energy, that expression. Just a woman loving herself. You can feel that. And so I did a little research, and I realized how powerful this song was, and I realized how powerful us dancing to this song was, because not only was it a song from another country that we were not associated with, but dancing at that time in Iran was illegal, just like a lot of other basic human rights, like women couldn't choose what they were wearing, they couldn't go outside without feeling safe, they couldn't pursue an education. There were so many things that were just very trivial in America that is unthinkable over there. And I think the biggest moment when I was like, wow, this is really important and I need to make this is when I realized the same celebrities that are here, you would be a celebrity in America, you'd be a prisoner in Iran and a lot of other places in the world. And how just having the freedom to live a life and express yourself, that is such a privilege that nobody thinks is a privilege here. You know, and just that realization and the realization that everywhere, especially in LA, especially in the entertainment industry, is the one place in the world where people encourage you to do that. They applaud you for it. A lot of other places in the world, people shame on it. They look down on you for it. You could be outcasted from society. You could never get a job or go to university again. So, and when I told this story to the filmmakers and the dancers who were at USC and just in the LA community, and just the way that everybody said yes to this project with no thought. They were just like, yes, okay, I want to help. And when I approached donors and other cast and crew members, they were all just like, yes, even though they usually get paid, even though they're busy students, they have so many other things to do, but I think it just resonated with the artistic community so much. And it was just such a special project because everybody was so on board for a cause and a project that they knew nothing about initially, and people that they have no virtual ties with, but we can all feel the importance of it. And that was really beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for making those connections. It's important, yeah.
So this project started off as a journal entry. I didn't mean to make a film, and I say that with a lot of humility. When I knew I wanted to step back in front of the camera, I knew that my story was not my story. It belonged to many people. So I reached out to my Facebook Flag group and said, who wants to join me in front of the camera? I think I'm making a movie. And the women that you see on the screen, we met each other in that moment in front of the camera. And it was a really special, beautiful moment. We've maintained friendships and do a lot of advocacy work together. And it was a really sweet moment for us.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. You can see it in the film. It really goes right through the screen, touches you.
I have to tell you all, you've caused me a lot of problems today. I've been wiping my glasses all night because I kept tearing up. So they're a little spotty right still. So anyway, but seriously, it's amazing to share this moment. I don't think there's a particular moment. The entire small film was a moment because we literally made it with several hours. Dean Taylor,
several hours.
Several, yeah, maybe like 3, 4. What it was Dean Taylor and I came to our roles at our school at the same time. And at the same time, we experienced similar issues, such as being the only women on an academic council of deans and whatnot. But also Dean Taylor representing a ballet as well as contemporary program. Myself, I'm representing some traditional ideas about cinema. And we don't believe that that's necessarily what we should hold on to. We should hold on to them as foundation. But we also think that students have to have creative ideas and fly. And so we had come up against those challenges. And out of sort of an exasperation, we had this explosion of expressions. And we said, let's get together. And I knew this young man who's brilliant with the camera. And we just improvised. We brought a bunch of props and costumes. We identified some locations within a short vicinity, and we just went to it, and we said, let's subvert that, let's celebrate that, let's do this, let's do that. And lo and behold, this lovely little piece came together. So I'm really grateful we had a moment to share it with some people. We didn't intend to.
Absolutely. And as someone who is getting on in my own years as an artist, I love seeing a mature dancer on stage, on camera, so thank you for that, too.
Yeah, she's great.
I think what was most unique about this project was actually my process as well. It's actually my directorial debut film, so I think that I knew I wanted to choreograph a piece to a poem, and I had never done that before. And I'm also a haumana of hula, so I dance hula as well. I live in Hawaii, but I was actually born here in the Bay Area. Hey, Yay Area, what's good? So it's really special actually to be back here and be able to share this. So I knew I wanted to choreograph to a poem, and No'urivilla is a very well-known Kanaka Wahine poet, Native Hawaiian poet, and I flipped to this poem, and I almost immediately knew that it was the one that I wanted to choreograph to. I just graduated, but I was a student at University of Hawaii getting my master's in political science. And I was definitely exploring a lot about historical trauma and shame and how that lives in our bodies. And obviously as a dancer, I wanted to explore that more. And I think this poem was an amazing outlet to do that. And I think I was really inspired by hula in a lot of ways when I was choreographing this, because with hula, you are telling the story of the mele, of the song that you're dancing to, and it is they are not separate whatsoever. So I was using the poem and I was almost translating it through my body. I would write the stanzas on this whiteboard in the studio at UH, and then I was like listening to her cadence and her voice and what she was emphasizing and what she wasn't, and I was trying to see how that lived in my body and the pathways that my body took naturally, and then making it into a cohesive piece. So yeah, it was really cool, and I think that it's something that I want to continue to use in my process moving forward.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. So the time, like I said, is short, and we're going to end with a rapid answer, which means you get like 30 seconds to a minute to answer this, and it's A-B. So the first one is, I actually shared this with Anna. What is on your playlist, music-wise? What are you jamming to right now? And in your artistic journey, what is next for you? Okay, and we'll start with you. What is on your playlist, and what's next for you?
What is on my playlist?
You can name like the fave one or something that's just like your groove right now.
Oh, right now my groove is Masego. I've been a big fan of his for a long time, but Masego, M-A-S-E-G-O. Go check him out if you haven't.
Okay.
Masego. And what is up next artistically? So I was here last year, fortunately. I'm here again this year. And next, how can I say this? So every second in processing is a part of a bigger film. So it's a trilogy. And I am in post-production for the third film that ties all 3 films together.
Awesome, thank you. You can just go down my playlist.
Variations on Baby Shark is on my playlist, and I'd like help, please. I have an almost 4-year-old. Similarly, so this the stories of the 7 women who join me at the end of the film, we have a short form documentary where they tell each of their stories, and we are currently working on expanding this project and gathering more stories. So that's next on the plate.
Awesome, thank you.
I really want to say something cool, but if I'm being so real, it's Wicked. I'm like definitely listening to a lot of Wicked. I'm really excited for part 2. I love musicals. And upcoming for me, I actually got a grant to make another film, and I want to make it also have a live performance aspect. I guess I work a lot with my younger sibling. We collaborate a lot, and they do a lot of interactive media, so I'm really interested in bringing more live performance to Hawaii, and also using a lot of the visuals that we're going to shoot for the film, bring that in as well.
Excellent, thank you. Yeah.
I'm listening to a lot of violin right now because I'm making a film with a young violinist, and he's Israeli, and we're trying to deal with some difficult stuff through film, and I have also hopes that we're going to expand this maybe into a trilogy of 3 chapters, or just expand it, but lots of things going on.
Right. Thank you so much. Okay.
Ever since I was here on Thursday, I saw the music video with Jungle, and then I went back, and that song was just stuck in my head, so I've just been listening to Jungle. And next for me, I've been going through a lot personally lately, and my I'm from Shanghai, where it's almost like a very stifling community, and I think throughout my life, I'm 20 years old, I'm processing a lot of things that were kind of just feels illegal to say out loud, and now I'm fully just writing it out and processing it for myself, and I think the most powerful things come from the most painful experiences for myself, and I would read them back, and I'm like, I think I should make something with it. So I'm currently in the process of seeing what I want to do with that, and hopefully something will be here soon.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I'm a house head, so currently I am listening to Stacy Kidd with Tiffany Hawkins, Let It Blow. Yeah, the Afro vibe mix. Yeah. What's next for me? I'm currently on this journey about raising voices is so appropriate, but expanding the narrative of the lived experience of African American women. So my next film, it's about the strong Black woman construct, the historical context, and the contemporary context of how it's impacting us and the ripple effect of it.
And if we can give just some more love to these folks, maybe you can even just, yep.